With his ability to be passive and aggressive in equal manners, Yoru is probably the best duelist to play on defense in Valorant. And since we covered Yoru's roles on attack in the previous videos, it is time for the defending side of Yoru. What's up guys, I'm Shiro Yure. I met Yoru since he used to do this. And I climbed till Ascendant 3 with him. Today, we will dive into the roles of the most fun duelist on the defender side. A good Yoru man will use all of those roles to help them adjust to the ongoings of the match so they will always be unpredictable. Starting with the floater role, which is probably the most common role between the duelists, the idea of the floater is to exist wherever there's an action on the map. Yoru is considered a very fitting for this role, given that with a press of a button, he can teleport to the other side of the map. So, when do we need to use this role? If we notice the enemy team always rushes 5 men on site and our team can't hold them back, it's always good to just simply TP towards our team to help them. The idea is, wherever the enemy team goes, Yoru goes. So, as a Yoru, we will always keep a TP ready on a position where we think the enemy team will go.
Time to jump.
Both play mid.
The anchor role is basically when you hold the site alone as a defender. Yoru is one of the best duelists to play as an anchor because he can always delay his rotations and teleport just when the enemy team has committed to a site. We usually use this role when the enemy team likes to default a lot and likes to play slow. Now, whether you need to play as a floater or an anchor, here's all the TP lineups that I use to rotate quickly between the sites on every map. Stick to the next section of the video where we're gonna talk about how and when to be aggressive with Yoru.
Time to jump. Cutting through. Time to jump. Time to jump. Time to jump. Cutting through. Cutting through. Time to jump. Time to cutting through. Cutting through. Time to jump. Time to jump. Here, cutting through. Cutting through. Time to jump. Here. Cutting through. Fake teleport. Time. Cutting through. Here. Jump. Time to jump. Cutting through. Here. 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 Time to jump.
Now, for one more defensive role of Yoru, the Agro Role. An aggressive Yoru can take different styles and shapes according to each round and its variables, such as the flanker. As a Yoru, we become a flanker when we notice that the enemy team gives up a lot of space on the map. With the help of an info utility, Yoru can start pushing and taking space on the map to limit the enemy's options. Remember to always have an escape TP ready in case they push you back. From then, according to that round, we can decide to fall back or to keep on flanking.
Fake teleport.
Another way to be aggressive with Yoru is aggressive TPs. At the entrance of every site in Valorant, there's always a corner where we can set up a sneaky TP at the beginning of the round, so we can use it later for an aggressive short flank. We usually use this type of play when the enemy team has an important ult that we predict them to push quickly with it, such as Killjoy's ult, Preach, or even Waylay. Combine it with a flash at the site's entrance so they won't expect that you are already behind them. We can also use an aggro flash TP play when we are on eco or a half buy for a quick and predictable push to do as much damage as possible.
Spike.
A different way to be aggressive with Yoru is to play aggressive angles. With an escape TP and a good flash, an aggressive Yoru play at the start of the round can help dictate the outcome of that round. As Yoru likes to say,
Let's strike first. It's better than having to strike back.
we use those aggressive plays when we notice that we can't stop the enemy's quick pushes on a certain side or a certain part of the map. Rule of the thumb is to try to secure the first blood of that round and TP out. Now, for some tips when playing those aggressive angles. 1. Start to be aggressive since round 1, and that's to condition the enemy team to use their utility and not take the natural space for free. 2. If you fail to secure the kill, always TP out, because your life as a defender is worth more than one single attacker. 3. Do not use the same play many times in one match. Be creative and do not be predictable. Next, I'm gonna share with you my best flashes for an aggressive Yoru that I use on every map. Stick around after when we will talk about how to retake with Yoru.
Nice.
Time to jump. They're not looking.
Right side.
Time to jump. I'll cut through. Cutting through. Cutting fine. Here. Cutting through.
Nice, okay.
Anyone else?
Spike down.
Time to jump. Here. Here. Too easy. Decoy. Time to jump. Cutting through.
Hey.
Zakonos. Cutting through. Ouch.
Nice.
Time to jump. Time to jump. Time to jump. Looking. Time to jump. Here.
Get out of my way.
Two more.
Cutting through. Time to jump. Time to jump. Cutting through. Cut jump them. Time to jump when they're not looking. Here.
Diving gonna...
Double's dead. Cutting through. Time to try and get past me. Here. Time to... Here. Aiming back. Ascent. My ult's ready. Cutting through. Spikes here. Time to jump. Here.
Smoking.
Down. C.
Time to jump.
Fire in the hole!
Too easy. Cutting through. Here. Here. No chance. Time to jump. Too easy.
Hi.
I'm falling back.
Cutting through. Here. 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 Zako. Cutting through. Here. Here. Next.
That's my duty, man.
No chance. Time to...
Nice.
Time to jump. Cutting through. Cutting through. Here. I'll cut through. Fine. Cutting through. The hunt begins.
One more.
Time to jump. Here.
Thank you if you made it this far in the video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It helps me a lot to create more guides like this in the future. So, what is retaking? Retaking in Valorant is taking control of the site after the attackers has planted the spike. In this situation, the roles are flipped. Attackers become defenders and defenders become attackers. As a Yoru, your role this time becomes an entry player, and that's to make space for your team so they can funnel in after you on site, by using one of the two ways of entry that we covered in our entry video. And just like entering with Yoru, same protocols apply. We wait for the team to be ready before retaking, we ask for our smoker to smoke if they are available, and we ask for initiator utility or use any ult that is available. In the next section, I'm gonna share with you all the baths and TB lineups that I take when retaking with Yoru.
One enemy remaining.
Here, cutting through. Time to jump. Time to jump. Cutting through. Time to jump. Time to jump. Cutting through. Time to jump. Cutting through. Time to jump. Time to jump. Cutting through. Cutting through. Cutting through. Time to jump. Cutting through. Time to jump. Time to jump. Cutting through. Cutting through. Here. Cutting through. Time to jump. Cutting through. Time to jump. Cutting through. Here.
Hope you enjoyed this Yoru guide. Tell me in the comments, what do you struggle the most with Yoru? Thank you again for watching and see you on the next one.
Spike planted.
I'm done. Miss me?
One enemy remaining.